Hey guys, welcome back to Grimreaper. Coming at you with another video of Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully doing well and hopefully having a great start to the week wherever you are in the world and having a great start of the day. We're back on my account today. We're going to do some testing with some relics today with Mr. Fabian, the Lord Fabian. I think this is probably his best relic on him out of all of the legendary relics other than the one that's submissive. And we're not going to talk about one that's submissive because that's just a whole new category of fish. So I wanted to get into today. I wanted to try and do this for my understanding as well as your understanding, because my understanding of this relic was completely wrong, and I wanted to kind of showcase this relic today with everything else going on. So we're going to go over to the clan group and we're going to talk about the relic stagnator. So I've recently pulled a stagnator for my account, and it's pretty solid, really strong on Armads and sorry, not on Armads, on Fabian, and I really enjoy using it. But my understanding of this relic was completely wrong, and my understanding of this relic was is 100% chance to stop Fabian weak hitting, and that is completely wrong. I will put my hands up to that. I must have got it mixed up with Death Dealer and etc. I know most of relics off the top of my head, and this kind of just made it a bit different. But I still think that this is the best relic for Fabian either way, and I'm going to talk about it why I think this is the best relic, well, best legendary relic for Fabian other than the one of submissive. And I want to talk about this why. So obviously with ones, you know, you only get so many ones on your account. So for example, I've only got 4 ones. That's might be some more for you guys. I know some accounts I drive have 7, and I know some accounts I drive only have 1. So I wanted to kind of get good utility out of this. I feel like this relic is a bit under rated and probably doesn't get enough credit as it deserves. But as you can see here, the free stats on the main stats are really juicy. And yeah, so my understanding of this now is much clearer after I've done some testing, and we will show the testing today. The wearer has a 20% chance to remove, steal, convert buffs, or increase a skill cooldown when landing a weak hit. So it can do pretty much everything really that you want it to. This does do increase up to a 50% chance once it does reach a level 6, which is quite consistent overall. So Fabian does weak hit a lot. That's why I do generally avoid to take him over Armads, because I see Armads if I don't take Armads, and he weak hits a lot, and it does lose me a lot of fights overall, which is a pain in the bum. But he has a 20% chance. Mine right now is level 4, right? So I have a 35% chance to remove, steal, convert buffs, or increase a skill cooldown when locking out. So he does a skill cooldown already, which is pretty cool. Then you also have the chance that he removes the buffs on the enemy as well, which is pretty nice as well. And obviously the accuracy and speed is the main stats. And it's the only thing that I think is a bit wrong is the gemstones. I don't think that the gemstones are very kind to this. It's a shame there's no circulars, because that would just make it a lot stronger. As well as with the one is so strong because it has 2 circle gemstones on it, and yeah, the speed as well is pretty nice. Also has a bigger chance as well to do his stuff from a base level point of view. So it's kind of a hard one to kind of mix through. I do like the main stat though on this. So let's go ahead and jump into Doom Tower. We're just going to throw him into a wave on his own so he can kind of show off like how often he weak hits. I know like we know how much he weak hits already, so we know that he's quite high. We got a full magic team here. I will be honest, since I've had this relic on, I feel like he barely weak hits, and I want to kind of showcase that. I say barely weak hits, and then we got 2 weak hits there. So I kind of wanted to show what this relic can do overall, and kind of show you like it's pretty solid relic to kind of mitigate the counter picks here. Unfortunately, we do die there, so I want us to get many hits as possible without killing them. Let me go ahead and throw in a reviver for whatever reason, and then we can throw Fabian back into the fight as well. So yeah, really, really strong relic. I want to see this again. Gave some weak hits coming through there. No lockout. I wish it was 100% chance to lock out on a weak hit. That would be super strong, but it'd also be super OP as well. So it's probably a good idea why it's not. I want to come in again. And obviously, with the type of gear that I run on him, it's really hard to get high level accuracy. So I do benefit from the high accuracy as well. And basically, we're just trying to show like how many weak hits we're going to get here and to kind of show him do his job. Unfortunately, we haven't been very successful at landing the fears, I guess. I guess you have to land one, and then you can kind of see it coming in like so. It's really hard to test these relics, but I feel like this is a good way to test for these relics. So you can see here that he's just going on one of these right now. Okay, there we are. It'd be nice to kind of showcase some stealing buffs, but it's really a bit RNG trying to steal the buffs. And you can see that he is a monster when it comes to crowd control. Obviously, we already know that. And I wanted to showcase his build today as well with you guys to kind of show him in his strongest point for sure. So hopefully this will carry on going through. I'll take him into arena next. So I feel like he is definitely weak hitting less, but there's still some room improvement. Either way. So that's done. I don't feel like one is submissive so effective on him compared to other champions because Fabian has two things on his kit over Armad. So he has a passive ability when he can basically self-cleanse all the CC, right? You can drop his turn meter, but he can self-cleanse himself. So again, that kind of helps with him and Wand. And also his main ability doesn't actually proc sheep at all. So this doesn't really proc the sheep so much. I don't really tend to see him get sheep a lot. But this ability here and this ability here, plus the passive, can get him sheeped. Generally, when you do this ability in about 90% of the fights, it's pretty much game over, unless you're using something like mythicals or something like that. Then it's a different ball game altogether, to be honest. But that's a different story for a different day. So let me go into arena. We'll showcase him a little bit in arena and the build there. Then I'll show you all the stuff that you want to see. All right then, so it took me a time to find a team to attack with a Fabian. I'm really low down on points right now, but I wanted this to kind of showcase the build a little bit here and kind of show you what's what. So we have got this coming through here. It should be faster than me by rights with all these fears. So you can see here we cut in on the build. We have a weak affinity here. We are up against bombs. I've got two ways of counter right now. So, for example, we have Necrid putting the buffs on the Marius, offering the block buffs there. And then we have the Queen and Cora as well. If we weak it, we should be fine. If we weak it, actually, we get resisted there. So, I'd actually target him here. We do get the petrification. I will get bombed as well in return. C3 removes the buffs. We'll go ahead and remove them bombs, and then it should be just a case of saying goodnight to this team. So you can see here, pretty effective. I tried using the best champions as possible, but I also wanted to try and counter the bombs to kind of show you this type of build on the Fabian. A lot of people still building Fabian wrong. I've seen a lot of pinpoint Fabians. I've seen a lot of I don't know, like I think pinpoint's a bad thing. Mainly people are building pinpoint so they don't so he doesn't get armads with the sheep, right? He doesn't get sheep with the armads, which is pretty useful, I guess. He doesn't actually do anything for anything else though for his kit. So that's one thing you can kind of take in consideration. I see a lot of people use Stone Skin / Sonic, and then they just get sped a lot because they're just too slow. With Sonic, you need to be extremely fast with Sonic. I can't take on Taurus and Rishka because this is the counter speed teams. So we need a team that is generally faster than me. There isn't a lot of teams down here right now that's faster than my Fabian, if I'm being honest, even if I wanted to. So it's really hard for me to showcase. I'm mostly this low right now because of the missions that we're doing for the collab, right? So that's one of the reasons why I'm so low. I think we could potentially cut in on this team because potentially Mariska will offer her stuff, but we might actually just be faster. My Fabian isn't that fast; it's 386, which is pretty standard at a in-game territory. But I'm saying from an in-game point of view, that is going to be really, really solid. He will be my sixth champion over 400 speed once he's finished, which is what I'm kind of looking forward to. So you can see here again, pre-standard team to offer. I guess we can go. This build is also pretty solid for go second teams as well. So potentially we can find a go second team like this one, for example. So we got go second versus go second. It's a weird team, but nothing too much going on in here. So unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to climb myself all the way to plat. Also would have cost me a ton of gems, which I'm trying to save right now, if I'm being honest, for the events and etc. With all these relics going on for a limited amount of time. It'll probably cost me like 400 gems to get there. There isn't really much here. I can farm all these with this defense. It's not. There's nothing here that's crazy whatsoever. I guess that's about it. There isn't much more to kind of showcase. I guess we can go against these two, see if we can land the weak hits as well here as well, and see what we can do. So we can go ahead, lock them out. We do get resisted on the Fabian. Sorry, on the Sigford. You know what I mean, right? We get sheeped. We get sheeped. We do lose because we get sheeped. I'm not gonna sit here and try not to get sheeped. Wait, did we even have like a really strong chance of being sheeped in that team? Oh, he's got 1 5-star. Guess we can go in for a bit of sweet revenge, etc. So this Fabian's built basically for mainly to cut in, right? To cut in, I don't worry about stone skin too much. I use Sifi with a lot of him as well, so I don't really worry about the lockout ability being enfeebled because it can't cleanse off enfeebled. So that's one thing there. So I guess we'll take a look at his build now and kind of talk a few ways that would potentially build him with the stats that I would kind of keep my level of arena overall for him. Right, so this is the build then for us, and we can see that this is the build that we're using for pretty much everything for him right now, Thatch Wars, etc. It's a bit of a squishy build, but when you're using him in this these style of teams, then it's a great way of building him. So I build him a few ways depending on people's accounts and gear. So you can see that the stats here. The main two I'm focusing on right now is running as fast as possible. So we're coming in at 386 speed, and a minimum requirement on the accuracy of 500. Obviously, we're at just over that at 648. So really good chunk of accuracy, really good chunk of speed as well from the Relic overall, which is only a level. Keep saying level 9. I think it's a level 9 Relic, right? So kind of works a bit different from leveling. So this is the gear that we're using. We've got accuracy banner. We have a triple accessory here, which is a cleanse accessory, which is no good on him really. We have a triple defense ring, so for survivability is a bonus on him. We're looking for beer speed boots with speed ascension and accuracy substat, and then we have a accuracy ascension chest. So we went with this chest because it's really high on speed. Attack doesn't do anything for him. Ideally, you've got a accuracy chest there overall. Then we've got the speed gloves coming in. Flat defense, which is not great, but on the speed champions is perfectly fine. Then we got a triple speed at top, no triple speed at top, and then a high-end double speed roll with this accuracy substat. I can try and get a bit more speed in the future from this one here, which I guess would be now the upgrade because of his relic to try and make him even faster on my account. It's been a while since I built him, so potentially we can make him a bit faster in the future, like if something like this rolls, like a triple speed, for example, because I would happily drop it overall. So when I'm trying to run Sonic sets, the slowest that I would recommend for the top end of Arena, which actually at the moment I'm a bit too slow, would be 400. So 400 for me for a Sonic set is the way to go. And even then, you might get outsped a little bit every now and again, depending on the other ones. I don't really like Stone Skin and Sonic together without like crazy empowerment, because just 9 times out of 10, even I outrun the Sonic set even with a Sea Feast, and that can be something you'll see in my videos if you do watch the live arena content. I would ideally higher HP and higher defense, but right now I've got so much flat stats on him, it kind of reflects in his build. I will get a 6-star Tim presence at some point, and that will give me another 15 speed, which will push me over 401. I can get a bit more speed from glyphs now with the new glyph system. So these are the gemstones that we're using right now. I've gone for the wearers, increase accuracy by 3 for each buff on them. So I do use Sea Feeder, giving me additional 9 speed. 9 accuracy. Then the wearer default skill will ignore 10% of the target resist. That's pretty juicy for like the fear and etc. And then the wearer receives 5% turn meter each time an enemy resists a debuff placed by this wearer. Cannot gain more than 20%. So basically in arena, get more than 4 overall and you'll be fine. For me, Tim Presence is the way to go. I'm not actually a big fan of Tim Presence. Tim and Presence myself, because Template Chains. Template Chains is what I'm talking about. I'm not a big fan of Template Chains because I feel like it's extremely dangerous against Marius, especially when you have a 6-star there. Overall, I feel like the 5-star is where you want to be at. Once you want to go to 6-star to kind of benefit from that, I would go into Tim Presence, especially if you're running in speed teams. If you're not running him in speed teams, then there is a few other options as well. So you could go Lightning Cage to protect Stone Skin if you wanted to, but I'd probably go Polymorph if you wanted him to use in it. Go second Starlight Team, which would probably be the better bet overall for me, in my personal opinion. So, if you can't go any faster than this, if you can't go like towards these high speeds, if you're running like 350 or something like that, I would probably recommend just going Stone Skin, 4-piece Stone Skin, to be honest, and try making fast as possible with the same stats as well overall, and then speed tune him with your nukas. Your turn meter boost champions to make sure it's as fast as possible, and I think they're the 2 strongest builds for him. Pinpoint's fine, but Pinpoint's mainly just to deal with the armads and not being sheeped overall. But you could also swap out the template chains and go one and submissive, which would probably be a better use there. So for me, Sonic build and the Stagnator is the way for me to go for my account. But again, on other accounts, I do generally go Stone Skin a lot because people don't have this high level fast Sonic sets, and I see people run like Fabian at 300 speed in a 4-piece Sonic and Stone Skin. I'm like, what do you think that this is going to do? Like, people at my level are running 450 as a baseline speed champion. You're not going to get any turns even with the Sonic, right? The Nukas are going to squish you before you get a chance to take a turn overall. So hopefully that kind of shows the in play of that Sonic. I've definitely seen Sonic being stripped off now a lot lately. Um, a lot lately, especially with like Queen of Hearts and other people coming into the effects. I think a lot of people as well don't have access to really good Sonic, so strip it off and don't see it as a variable set overall, but it's still a really strong set overall. Let me know down in the comments about the masteries. I'm not too sure if this is the best or not. I think there's one or two that could be slightly better, to be honest. Anyway, that is it from me today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. As usual, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'll be Grim. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.